What is going on, everybody? I am the FT Guru, bringing to you guys a Friday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. We have 11 games on the main slate tonight. Some pretty decent value spots opening up early on in the day here. As usual, I'm giving you guys one play, per position here using FanDuel salaries. I also have my NFL Week 8 video up. With free credits involved. I'll put the link above my video here. Also, I'll put it in the caption and I'll put it at the end of the video so you guys don't miss out on that football video. So we're going to dive right into things here today. There's a lot of good spots with guys that we had on Wednesday, and they ended up not panning out. But again, in DFS, you have to have a short memory, and you got to just always play guys in the right spots. Whether a guy gets into, foul trouble or, the game script doesn't pan out because of a blowout, that's really out of everyone's control. You just got to play the best guys before tip. So for point guard, that's a good segue into my little talk there. Scoot Henderson, 5,500. He dropped $500. He had a bad first game. It was a tough matchup. They were in LA against the Clippers. They were never expected to, win that game. He still played 35 minutes. I think he had 0 at half, so he actually had a decent second half. At 5,500, he only needs 26, 27 fantasy points tonight. He's got a much better matchup against the Magic. He's at home. He'll have the support of his fans behind him. Maybe that's all he needs is a little bit of confidence. But we all know the ceiling of Scoot Henderson, just like Victor Wembanyama. This guy's electric. This price is cheap. I think it's a nice buy low spot. I think some people will fade him even in a good matchup just because he didn't have a good first game. I like him as one of my favorite value plays on tonight's slate at this price. We know he's going to get the minutes. We know he's going to get the usage. Much closer spread here. We got the Magic are minus 2.5, and it's a 222.5 over under. So this should be a close game. Should see plenty of points. I like Scoot Henderson in this spot. For what he's projected to do, I bet you his price will not be 5,500 in the near future. Shooting guard, we're going to go back with my guy, Terry Rozier. He's the same price he was on Wednesday. He might have been 7,300 on Wednesday. But he was only like 20% owned. I love this spot here. This Pistons and Hornets game is maybe my favorite game of the night. The Warriors and Kings game is good too. It's a 237 total. But this Pistons and Hornets game, 4.5 spread for the Hornets. 226 over-under, one of the higher over-unders on the slate. He's just a good player. He's the number one scoring option. LaMelo Ball just doesn't shoot as much. He's not as offensively dependent as Rozier is. Ball is known for his rebounding and assisting a little bit more. But Rozier did not play well on Wednesday. I was following him because I had a bunch of stuff with him. He ended up hitting. I had him on Prize Picks and Underdog and all that fantasy score. He ended up hitting. He shot terribly from the field. He missed a bunch of threes. He missed like 4 free throws, and he still got there. 24 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He did a little bit of everything. Didn't even get any blocks or steals, which we can expect him to get a couple of those every so often. 34 minutes. He's going to play a bunch of minutes. LaMelo Ball, it was said on Wednesday, LaMelo Ball is going to be monitored around 30 minutes, kind of like LeBron James, for the distant future from what it looks like. So Rozier really looks like the number one guy here. He is, against the Pistons team that, they're getting better. They got a lot of young talent, but they're still not really a force in this league yet. We got the Hornets at home. Did they play at home? Yeah, I think they played at home in the first game. I like Rozier at 7,400 here. He needs 37 fantasy points to hit value. Again, he didn't have a great first game and still got there. So I like my confidence in Rozier and his usage tonight. Small forward, we're going to go to Jaylen Brown here. His price is as low as we've ever seen it for good reason. There's extra usage with Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. But Jaylen Brown is still going to be a top 3 offensive guy on this team. We saw Tatum and Porzingis take over against the Knicks, scoring 30 plus each. I think Jaylen Brown will be needed. 6,900 is a cheap price. He needs 33 fantasy points to hit value. His Prize Picks fantasy score is 33. So there, the projections are saying that he's going to get to value as well. And we all know he has a mid 40s to 50 point ceiling. They're pretty big favorites against the Heat. They're at home at the Garden. I think they're 8.5 point favorites. 8.5 point favorites. So they should be able to coast here. I think Jaylen Brown will do a little bit more. He's going to play he played 38 minutes against the Knicks. The Celtics still don't have a bench. So, they're going to fluctuate their stars. So there's still going to be usage for these starters. You're going to see Brown get taken out in the first quarter while Tatum stays in, or vice versa. And then, Brown will be out there without Tatum and or Porzingis. So he's going to have plenty of opportunities. Didn't score enough, but 27 fantasy points in a game where he really wasn't needed. I feel pretty good about him getting low 30s for him to reach value. It's one of the lower prices we've ever seen on Jaylen Brown. Power forward, we're going to go back to Jiren Jackson, and this is going back to my prior speech about guys who screwed us, but you gotta, have a short term or a short memory. Jackson's in another great spot tonight against the Nuggets. He's at home. He shot very poorly from the field, but he's still at 5 blocks, so he sneaky almost got there. He needs 41 fantasy points to hit value. He couldn't have played worse on opening night. We saw Xavier Tillman and Desmond Bane. They each dropped like 50 spots. I was on Jiren Jackson and I'm blanking on the other guy, Zaire Williams, and they were both terrible, but they're in great spots again. They should both be starting. I like Jackson to, get more than 8 points, more than 5 rebounds. He shot terribly from the field. And we just saw Bane and Tillman take over, but the Grizzlies in general did not play well. They easily lost to a Pelicans team that, is getting better, but a game at home, the Grizzlies were always favored in that game, and they looked pretty bad. I like a bounce back here. They're at home once again. Let's see. We got the Nuggets. They're playing at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's weird for a Memphis game. We got the Nuggets at minus 5.5, so the game should stay close. I'm not worried about a blowout risk. 220.5. Over under, so should be plenty of points. I like Jiren Jackson. They're going to need his defense on Jokic. Hopefully he can stay out of foul trouble. They'll probably put Xavier Tillman on Jokic a bunch too, but the Nuggets play big. They got Michael Porter as their small forward, Aaron Gordon as their power forward. They're going to need Jiren Jackson to be on the court, and he's going to have to be a defensive presence, which he always is. 5 blocks in that first game kind of saved him. But we know his ceiling is 50 to 60 points with those defensive stats. If he can get 20 plus points, 10 plus rebounds, and then get the blocks and steals that he gets, he can get to 50 very quickly. So I like this as a spend up at power forward and center at 8,200, even though he burnt me 2 days ago. And then for center, we have no Nick Claxton tonight. It looks like an easy Dron Sharp value spot as the starter for the Nets against the Mavericks. 5,000, needs 25 fantasy points to hit value. Claxton played almost 30 minutes in that first game, so they're going to have to soak up those minutes. Sharp played 11 minutes as a backup off the bench. I would like to think at least 20 of those minutes probably go to from Claxton, go to Sharp. I could see Sharp playing 30 minutes tonight. And even if he only ends up playing 25 minutes, he should be able to hit value with that extra usage as the only big man at 5,000. The Nets don't really have another big man. They have Harry Giles, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I can't find the Brooklyn team on here. Here we go. So you got Harry Giles as the only other center. Maybe Ben Simmons could play a little bit of center. Royce O'Neal maybe, but it's really just Dron Sharp as their main center, and the Mavs have big guys to cover. Derek Lively's coming off of a great opening night game. He's a big guy. Maxi Kleber's pretty big. Dwight Powell's pretty big. They're going to need Dron Sharp tonight, and it's a great price with no Nick Claxton. That'll do it for this video, guys. Let's have a big Friday. I'm ready to have a huge night for NBA on one of these big slates. Putting the link to my NFL video Week 8 with free Guru credits below right now. Give this video a like. Make sure you are subscribed. And I do appreciate you for stopping by. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.